Hi, I'm Alyssa, your free range psychic. Today is April the 26th, 2020, and I'm not going to do a past life reading today. I'm just going to do a Trump update. And I'm using the Gilded Tarot by Cyril Marchetti. And when I do these readings, my guides show me the cards psychically. I pick them out, and then I ask them why they chose those cards. And then there's a oracle card for us and also a musical interlude at the end. So I'm using a simple Celtic cross. This is a subject card. This is the Tower. This is the Trump card. You know, this is Trump Tower. This is his whole presidency so far, but also right now, completely in a state of chaos and I would say even collapse, where he's firing this person and that person. Anybody doesn't agree with him about whatever he wants to say about the COVID-19 virus and everything surrounding that. And it's insanity. It's insanity in the White House, and that's being reflected also by the chaos and tragedy in the country, where the hospitals are still suffering from not having enough PPEs, and enough ventilators, enough masks, enough supplies for the people who are coming in with the virus. This is a virus still spreading, and the chaos of Trump, who is really encouraging people to go out and protest this lockdown, and in doing so, he's even spreading the virus more, and he's putting people in danger in that way. And it's so counterintuitive because those are his base. They're going out, and then they're going to be not potentially available for voting for him. And then you have him going even further and talking about injecting disinfectant. And apparently there's been a huge rise in calls to poison control in various states, asking about is this wise? Is this something we should do? Because people are very confused. And the way that his base has been conditioned is to follow him lockstep. No matter what he says, they're going to argue for it. They're going to say that he's brilliant, and we're going to follow our fearless leader into the front lines, the trenches of his insanity, because we have been conditioned to be that way. That this is who we are, and we love him. We love him so much that yes, he could shoot somebody on the streets, and we would be fine with that. We'd find a way to justify it in our minds. Our minds just do so much contortion to blindly follow this person. So, cult mentality, really, Stockholm syndrome, whatever you want to call it, that is his base. Because how long are you going to follow somebody who's telling you to, expose yourself to a virus, telling you that this is a hoax, when clearly you're vulnerable to this hoax, and you must be seeing it in your neighborhood, or you will be soon. His demographic are the most immunocompromised, the ones with, it seems anyway. I'm not saying all of them, but it seems apparently that they really don't get a grasp about the nature of viruses or infection, things that we have known about scientifically for a very, very long time. This, dramatic changes have happened in the last 100 years or so regarding our knowledge about infectious diseases. But for some reason, Trump's base wants to ignore that. Jesus is the best vaccine. I don't know if you've heard of that meme or whatever. So more of the same, but worse and worse and worse, because this is really affecting us on so many levels now. It's destroying so many different things, and then the reaction to it is not to help shore us up, stabilize us, get us through this difficult time. It's to make it worse. Above is Five of Pentacles. This is reflecting the economy, the stock market, how COVID-19 is affecting us with not being able to, many people not being able to work at their jobs or being forced to stay at home. I mean, I think being forced to stay at home is probably the best scenario, because for the people who are losing their jobs, millions of people are applying for unemployment, and children who would have eaten lunch at their schools are now, when they're forced to stay home and not having that access to nutrition. It's affecting people on so many levels, not just in the present, but the reverberations of the future. This is the paltry stimulus checks that are being sent out but delayed because Trump wants to have a signature on them, and treating people like they are paupers, like they are beggars, even though this is their tax payer dollars at work. They're being treated as if they are beggars at the feet of Trump and his government. And this is also the stock market, and it's going up and down and down and down and down and then up again, and the oil price is falling. All of these things that are occurring now, and also are very much being politically used by the Trump administration to let's just talk about them coming and Trump using his wartime powers to deregulate pollution standards, so that all of a sudden, for some reason, I don't know what the hardship is, that a company would continue to, safeguard their services during this time of crisis. But for some reason, oh no, now you don't have to worry about, polluting the land or killing people with, safety regulations. You forget about all of that, you guys. You're having a tough enough time as it is. So just go ahead and pollute away. This is, and it's the maddening hypocrisy of it, and the maddening counterintuitiveness of it all, because there have been solid correlations between the people who are dying from this virus and the amount of pollution in their environment, especially air pollution. So you would think, well, let's be glad at least that the air pollution has really come down, as it's shown all over the world and in this country too, by a significant amount, both east, west coast, all over. And let's keep it going down, because that's going to safeguard even more the health of our people. No, forget about that. Let's just throw all that to the wind and pollute some more, put more people at risk. Let's put more people at risk. In the near past, or recent past, I should say, this is, to me, becoming more and more representative right now of the COVID-19 virus, or the coronavirus, having come to our shores from China, and also not just coming from other countries. There are all kinds of speculations now. Did this really occur in China? Did it occur here first? Is it this or that? A lot of conspiracy theories are coming. I guess this could be a good card of conspiracy theories too, but I'm not going to even go there regarding where it comes from. I think even in its ability to travel, being airborne, person to person, it's still being transmitted. It's still still on the march here in the recent past, being spread. Below Trump is the Seven of Swords. This is a card of the thief. So what really came so strongly to my mind looking at this card was austerity, politics, disaster capitalism and austerity. So disaster capitalism is when you take advantage of whatever disaster is happening, whether it's man-made or comes from nature. You figure out at that time how to make the most money, how do the private industries profit, and then you take it from there. So you don't care about whether or not the private industries are able to deal with that situation, or even if they are truly, honestly going to. Okay, I'll give you an example. There have been all kinds of stories of the government giving hospitals ventilators. The ventilators aren't working. Somebody's made a profit in that. And they don't care about the ventilators working. That's not the issue. The contract went to somebody who probably lobbied or was friends with whoever, or was giving money to whatever senator or Trump himself. They get the contract. Nobody's caring about the quality of that stuff because they're not caring about helping anybody. Everybody's just wanting to make a profit. And that is disaster capitalism. It happened with Katrina. It happened in Puerto Rico. And this is really who these people are. This is who Trump and his cronies are. They are disaster capitalists, and they see this as an opportunity. Another good example is the whole scandal with stocks, where senators know ahead of time that certain stocks are going to crash, and then they divest on them, divest them, or they buy stocks back on the information, the inside information they're getting regarding what's going on with the economy. So as related to this disaster pandemic time that we're in. So the other side of that, how it gets presented via Mitch McConnell, is austerity. And this is going on also in the UK. So this is the time to take things away from people, not to give. People get punished for things like this. This is a sadism of austerity, where the rich get richer and the poor are going to get less and less, and they are going to get punished for being victims of something like this, not assisted. And this is the mentality. This makes Mitch McConnell joyous that he can impose austerity measures at this time. So you want to decrease Social Security, you want to take away subsidized health care, you want to make it much worse, you want to strip away everything that you can from any food programs or whatever it is. You want to take it away. This is the time. This is the opening you get while you're in power to do that. So this is Mitch McConnell, but this really is also the Trump administration. So really what is behind this, the more we can take away from the public good, the more we can put into our pockets. Why? Because we're entitled, because we are who we are. We're all narcissists here. Not that they think they're, I don't know if they think about themselves as being a narcissist. They just think about I should say, let me say it another way. They are narcissistic and they are all narcissists, these guys. And narcissists really believe they're entitled because they are godlike for no other reason than they exist, and they have taken power and they have control and they have the ability to do it, and that gives them the right to do it. So that's this card, and this is what's going on underneath. This is the motivation, the opportunity. In the near future, my guides gave me this card. This is the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands, they tell me, is simply Trump doubling down on his statements. Right now, it seems like he's withdrawing a little bit, getting into trouble for asking, not asking people to, but suggesting that, injecting Clorox might be a good idea. That the anti-malaria drug, you want to try it? It's going to be pretty super fantastic. And people are dying from it. And we know that Trump has or I should say allegedly, I'm sure it's factual. I know I've read it as factual, that Trump has stock in or some vested interest in that drug, and he's also friends with the manufacturers of it, and he's being lobbied pretty hard to. He's a salesman, and he's trying to sell this hydroxychloroquine. And although it may work well in other cases, really it's very dangerous to take. Apparently for the coronavirus. And even whether it is or not, there hasn't been the kind of studies that need to be done, and so he's putting people at risk. But he's not apologetic. When does Trump apologize? He's defending himself. So we're in the near future we're seeing him, and this isn't any different than any other time, but in a very defensive posture, because he can't be wrong. And this is him yelling more at the press and at people who are criticizing him. Clarifying card, Ten of Swords. This is a card that really could describe the coronavirus and the amount of deaths that are occurring because of it. And also, but this, my guides say this is we're seeing the end of the administration. I know it's been going on for so long. The psychics keep on saying that, but that's what they say. We're seeing the end of the Trump administration, where it's on its last legs, and we're just watching as it's finally ending. And then the outcome card, doubling down on that, is the Death card. This is the end. The end. The end of the Trump administration, the end of this time where we've really come to the extreme representation of the kinds of politics that have been plaguing our country for a very long time. And this is the end result. So that is my reading. And don't inject disinfectant. Don't inject Clorox. You hear it from me. Not that anybody would, but don't do it. It's dangerous. They did give us an oracle card from the Ravon Phelan Messenger Oracle deck. And the card that they gave us, Need and Necessity. Night and day exist within the very same moment. Creation and destruction wear the same face. You only see one or the other because you're not seeing the whole. What you may see as harmful, another may believe it to be good. All is based upon perception. In nature, all occurs according to need and necessity, not right or wrong. Ask yourself, is there a genuine need to act? Is change necessary for your continued well-being and happiness? If the answer is yes, then act. If the answer is no, then do not. So my guides seem to think this is going to resonate with some people out there. Interesting card, yin and yang. It resonates with me regarding the need to be balanced and not reactive. And also, I think when I think of this card, and before I read what Ravon Phelan wrote about it, or said about it, I think about the time we're in right now, where we really are stripping things down to the bare bone. What do I need? What don't I need? How can I pare down my lifestyle so that I'm okay and I don't need these extraneous things because of the time that I'm going through, and I can't go out there and do whatever I want. I need so what are my needs here? That is my reading for today. I hope everybody's well. and making it through this time. It's been very stressful, I know. Continuation, just like last week and the week before. But hang in there, and we're getting through it. And we're going to be okay. We've learned, we continue to, like I said in the last video, learn a lot about ourselves through this time. And here in Michigan, the weather is slowly creeping up to the 60s finally, and signs of spring are everywhere. At this point, I always tell people I am available to do readings, past life readings, readings to do with your present life, including any thing from the past or what might be coming down the pike in the future. I can help you communicate with the ones who've passed over. And if you're wondering if they've made their transition or not, I can ask my guides and we can find out, and then perhaps we can pass them over if they have not. I love to introduce people to their guardian angels. Stick around for the musical interlude that's coming up. It's a little bit of a surprise. And in the meantime, enjoy your day, night, evening, whenever you're watching this. Love you. I'm sending my love to all of you. Everybody, take care.